guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be starting a new series aimed at new and aspiring photographers, or really anyone who just wants to up their Photoshop game. I'll be going through the most basic and requested techniques that every photographer, amateur or professional, should have in their toolkit. All right, the first thing that we're going to be doing today is removing skin blemishes. Now, no matter who you are, we all get skin blemishes, right? But just because we get them doesn't mean that we want them memorialized forever. So I'll be taking you through a few tools that you can use to achieve that perfect skin that everyone is asking for, right? This is one of the most requested things as a photographer, right? Can you fix my skin? Can you remove some blemishes? And thankfully, the answer to that is absolutely yes, right? This is very easy to do. Now, there are a few tools that I'm going to go over. Do you need to use all of them? Absolutely not. Usually the first one will do the trick for you, right? Can you use all of them? Sure. Now, which tool you do use depends on your starting image, which is why I'm going to go through all of them, right? Some tools work better than others, depending on what the skin looks like, how close the blemishes are to each other, and what you want to fix. So today we're going to be going through a few things, such as just like regular acne, individual pimples, maybe some other things that I find along the way. All right, so follow along. This is going to be fun. Okay, so this is an image that I got offline. It's a stock image from Pexels. Now, the first thing that you want to do is lock your original image. We will not be destructing any of the pixels on this image, all right? What we do is known as non-destructive editing, which means that no matter what we do, we can always go back to the original. That is extremely important. The first thing that you need to be aware of for what we're going to be doing today, all right, is right here. This thing that looks like a Band-Aid, all right? The spot healing brush tool. Underneath it, you see the healing brush tool and the patch tool. I'm going to show you how these work, but for this demonstration, I will be focusing on the spot healing brush tool. All right, so let me just show you the healing brush tool first. Healing brush tool, oh, you see how there's a little circle with a line through it, right? Because we're doing non-destructive editing and we've locked this layer, you just need to add a new layer first. So new layer, all right? And the way that this healing brush tool works is you're going to press Alt with your keyboard, right? And you're going to see that the little bullseye pops up. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick where you want to copy skin from. So I like this little patch of skin, right? I'm going to click on it with my bullseye, let go of Alt, and I can paint with that skin. Okay. Now notice all layers are selected, so if it's not working for you, that's why. And you see how it actually mirrored the texture of the skin up here, right? This is why I don't recommend the use of this tool for very specific face situations. Now, the healing brush tool does take into account light, right? So let's see, I'm going to select them over here, and I'm going to paint over here. You can still see the difference in texture a little bit, but it does work, right? Notice that you're actually just dealing with distance, the little crosshatch right there. You're dealing with distance from your brush tool. So if you're going to go farther away from where you originally selected from, you go back, press Alt again, and then start over. All right, again, notice that skin texture, right? This is not ideal. You have the skin texture here, and you have the skin texture here, right? So for things like this, I don't like it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just delete this entire layer, right? And add a new one. So now I'm going to show you what the patch tool does. The patch tool essentially allows you to change larger areas that you don't like into other areas. So for instance, if I want to remove this entire section, right, of skin with this section, I can do that, right? Now, notice that it doesn't fix the lighting issue. You see that? The skin color is completely different. It didn't take into account the shade right here, right? If I zoom out, this looks awful, right? So we're not going to use that either. But I wanted to show you these two because they're actually really useful for other situations, just not right here, right? So keep them in mind, try it out on your image, right? But that's not really what we're going to be using. Now I can use this healing brush tool right here on her nose, let's say brand new one, right? let's say that I want to copy the skin from right here into right there, right? That's useful. You see, smaller sections will work. Look at the difference. All right? Now I'm going to come back in, do it one more time, and then we can just kind of go from there. Small sections work best. All right? That is going to be the name of the game for this entire section. Go slowly. Now you see how it actually mirrored this right here, this highlight right there? It changed the shape of her nose. So be careful with that. So to fix that, I'm just going to come over here, press Alt again, and go over it one more time. All right? Now, we're going to call this Healing Brush, just so you can keep track of what I'm using. Okay. New layer, and we're going to go ahead and call this the Spot Healing. Now, for spot healing, that is our Band-Aid with the circle. It is the most automatic one of these tools that we have. Now, what you're going to do is make sure that sample all layers is selected, otherwise this will not work, right? And make sure that here, the hardness is 45 and under, all right? You don't want 100, you don't want 0, but anywhere between, let's say, 25 and 45 is fine. It's really not going to make that big of a difference. In terms of size of the brush, as small as possible. You don't want to mess up the surrounding areas. So this is what it looks like with a small brush, right? Let me undo that. And let me show you what it looks like if you use a big brush, right? Clearly, these two are not the same. They are not made the same. All right, so we're going to go ahead, again, small brush, and just quickly go through. Sometimes you need multiple passes through the same thing, right? We're dealing with texture, right? It's skin. None of it's perfect, right? We are human beings with imperfect skin. That's okay. That's what makes us beautiful. But we're going to go ahead and take some of these bigger ones out, right? Maybe, actually, I don't want to remove. Control Z. I don't want to remove that one. I like that one, right? So I'm just going to go through and pretty randomly just go through it, all right? I'm not even caring where I really click, but notice that I'm not drawing it through. Bad, all right? Smallest sections possible. Does that mean that it'll take you a little bit longer? Sure. Is it actually long? Not really, right? So we're just gonna go slowly through. You know what, for the purposes of this, I'll just remove everything. If it was me, I would keep it in the long run, but just for the purposes of this tutorial, to keep it as simple as possible, we're going to keep it like that. All right, now notice that I'm just going through. I'm still working non-destructively in my spot healing brush layer, right? Come over here. Now I'm only removing blemishes. I am not dealing with skin texture at this point, right? So if you're thinking, oh my God, what is she doing? That's why. Let's fix her lips too. Again, small. This is not going to be good. See? All right. So what we want is tiny. Now I'm just using my left and right bracket tools, all right, on the keyboard to do this. Now, teeny tiny. Zoom in, all right? It will help you. Because again, we want the smallest sample size possible in order to keep things better, right? Remember, we are dealing with proximity here. If you did something bad, it's okay. Undo it. Start over. All right? Sometimes, when you're dealing with lines, go in the line, all right? That's basically how you want to think about this. If you're dealing with blemishes that are in line formats, you go in that line so that the computer knows that you're dealing with one thing, all right? So there we go. We've gone ahead and removed the parchedness. We're going to go ahead now and remove, I'm going to undo that. Make this a little bit more diffuse for her, right? We're going to remove some of that really like very demarked line. Okay, there we go. This works for me. I can fix this up in the next step, all right? So right now, let me show you what we have. Original, just the nose, rest of the skin. You can stop here if you want, all right? You can definitely stop here. This is great. She looks fabulous. But let's say that your client or you just want that airbrush look. Let's keep going, all right? So now, new layer. I'm gonna call this my mixer brush. So underneath that spot healing tool, you have this thing right here, right? It looks like a paintbrush with a wet, like, drop over it. Go ahead and click that. Now, over here, you're going to see that there's different ones. I like using wet light mix, all right? Go ahead and wet 50%, load 50%, mix 0, flow 3 to 10%. Keep it low, all right? I'm going to go ahead and increase that to 6, and I'm going to pick a color. So go ahead here, and the color that you want to pick is the color that you will be painting with, right? So I'm going to pick basically her skin tone, which is about there, I think. Okay. Again, still on this brand new layer. And right now, what we're working with is 200, hardness at 0, no harsh lines. And I want to show you what happens. Okay. Play with the color a little bit. Did I get it right the first time? I'm not sure, actually. I think I did. All right, so what we're doing here is we are airbrushing her. All those little pores are going to become invisible, right? Small sections at a time. You can increase the size of your brush here because it doesn't really matter that much. Again, because we're working non-destructively in a brand new layer, I can go back and clean this if I want to. All right, so just small sections. Go ahead, take her nose. Right, and this is just blending. You see what happened there? That it actually blended the inside of her nose? Let's undo that. That looks terrible. All right, again, human, we make mistakes. I'm skipping that part for right now. Coming over here, doing her chin. That's way too airbrushed, right? Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Okay, so we're just gonna keep going. Small sections at a time. And where you need to make your brush smaller, do it. Don't try to save time, all right? Sometimes these things take time, and that's okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and just double check that everything is good. I think a little bit here, a little bit here. I'm actually going to come down and do her neck a little bit, too. For her neck, I'm going to change that color into something darker, maybe not that dark. Otherwise, everything will look like a shadow. So essentially, you don't want to get that like super shadow part of it because then it'll make everything look like a shadow, right? Which is not really what we want to go for. So because she has these like circles happening right here, right? With her skin just naturally does that. I'm following that same pattern, and notice that I'm going lighter. As her skin gets lighter, I'm changing my color. All right, so right now, this is what she looks like. I think she looks really good. So let's say that you think this is too airbrushed, right? We each do our own thing. We go ahead and make that a little bit more here. There, all right? Now let's say that we think she's too airbrushed. Don't undo it all, right? That's just how this works. Click on the layer. Under Fill, you're gonna go ahead and just decrease that down, all right? You can go all the way down to nothing. You can go 50%, right? You can go up to 100. It doesn't matter. You do what looks best for your picture, for your client. Every picture is different. Now, let's say that you think, oh, but, you know, you got some of this on her hair. Don't worry about it, all right? So, again, we work non-destructively, so we're not going to erase anything because if we erase too much, you'll always have that really sharp line. So what we're going to do is we're going to click right here, the one that looks like a camera. We're going to add in a layer mask. Now, what this layer mask is going to do is going to allow us to erase, well, it's going to allow us to hide things, but it's going to look like we erased, right? So now we're going to go into our regular paintbrush, right? Right here, your brush tool, and you're going to pick black, right? And notice that anything I go over here with the black is going to show up the original image. So right now, you can see that as I go over it, right? You can see that I'm removing the mixer brush. Everywhere there's black, I have removed the mixer brush. So we're gonna go ahead and undo that. I'm gonna increase the brush so you can see this. And just so you can really see it, I'm gonna make the hardness 100%. All right. Do you see that? That is a difference. When you use these, the layers, all right, when you use the layer masks, this is what you're doing. But difference is, we can also go back in white and bring what we have already done back. All right, so we never have to erase. Please keep that in mind. We never have to erase, right? But there's no way I'm using a hardness of 100%. So I'm gonna go actually at 20% and zoom in, and one pass through, just go right over the edge of her hair. That's it, that's all I'm doing. Because I was pretty careful when I did this, all right? And I know that I didn't get it into her hair. At least not much, right? Now, something else I'm gonna do, which you don't have to, but I like to, is make sure that you got none of it in her eyes. So I'm gonna go through and erase all of that from her eyes, just in case, because we want her eyes to be perfect, right? Now, do we wanna do this for her lips? Maybe. We go ahead and add a new layer, right? Just in case. Go back to the mixer brush, pick the color to make everything a little bit more rosy. Go ahead, that one, okay? Oh, I picked the history brush, I'm sorry. See, mistakes, right? We make them. Mixer brush, rosy, and what we're gonna do is decrease. There we go. All right. Now you can change the color. Now that you know what you're working with, you can go ahead and play around with the settings, the wet, the load, the mix, the flow, right? This is kind of where I like to keep mine. I like very natural touches. If you want something a little bit more distinct, go ahead and do it. I'm gonna come back here actually. I'm going to pick this color right here, and I'm quickly going to go ahead and blend a little bit more. I see that I chose my color that's a little too dark, doesn't matter. Pick something a little bit lighter and come on over. All right? Small changes, okay? Now, can you go up again? Look, you can always do it because we work non-destructively. You can always go back and change that fill for that particular layer. All right, so there you go, guys. A really simple tutorial on how to remove blemishes and just airbrush that skin. Now, just to show you where we started with and where we ended up. All right, beautiful since the beginning, but now, you know, depending on what your aesthetic is and if you want to remove blemishes, you know how to do it in a natural way. That mixer brush tool really does help straighten out that complexion to get that airbrushed feel. It's my favorite. I know that we have this blur tool right here. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, just trust me. Play around with it. Go ahead, but don't do it. Nothing good comes from that blur tool. And if you like it, teach me how, because I have never been able to get good results. All right. Again, remember, always save your file in PSD format so you can always come back and alter these layers again, right? As long as you save in PSD, you can always come back and change this up again. And because we work non-destructively, you can change everything, right? Also save as a PNG, and you're good to go. All right. Bye, guys. I hope this helped.